And your woman.
And your little lady.
Go black to Africa. Yeah. Let me say that right there again. I don't like how I said that. They tired, so forgive us because you know, getting a little late start because we had some things we had to do, get some rest, and then trying to scoff down some dinner. I'll give that explanation here in a second, but let's go ahead and just wait for some people to come in. Just go ahead and announce where you all from, and we're gonna get this started right here. Yeah, family. This is your man, not your boy. Go black to Africa. So we are back here again. Dallas, Texas is in the house. Appreciate you coming on up in here. Who is that? Jay Sold 88. That's Dallas, Texas. Caroline, welcome back, Caroline. Good to see that you are in the house. We got the Peck. Who's that? Donnie goes in. Donnie, what's Peck? I'm sorry, I must be a little slow tonight, but hey, PEC. We got Anonymous Florida in the house. ATL again in the building. Yes, we got Minister Oledemiji. Sorry, hello. I messed it up. Forgive me, I speak English. Raymond in the house. Minnesota in the house. What part of Minnesota, Raymond? Let us know. What part of Minnesota? Jennifer, greetings from Hawaii. Which island you're on, Jennifer? Vancouver, Washington in the house. Katina, yes. Yeah, we was up in Vancouver, but that was what was that? Yeah, we was up there, Vancouver.
British Columbia.
British Columbia. Yeah, we was up in British Columbia. You're in Washington, Vancouver, Washington. Beautiful up there, boy. That British Columbia up there, man. Checking in from ATL says Afro Genesis, us. Yeah, one love, Ingress. Good day. My name is Deborah and am from Jersey. Or is it Deborah? Deborah? All right. Janice Houston. Hey, my beautiful family. Houston, Texas in the house. Houston. Yeah. Okay. Big city of Houston. Peace, power, love, light, and unity to my A1 family from the DMV. Okay, Donnie goes in. All right. All righty. Hey, yeah. The Congo, Africa's in Congo. Giselle is in the house. Go black to Africa. Hello. Family again. Minister. Minister. I'm going to say Minister O. Great. You're from Togo. Okay. You're from Togo. I was in the airport there, and we're gonna be visiting there too. But yeah, shoot me an email. Let me know what's going on there in Togo. Daniel M., you were only in Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar. Tanzania is a big country. Yep, I hope you will talk about your experience in those two places. Hey, we're going to talk about Zanzibar and Tanzania. We were in Dar es Salaam. And that's what we're going to talk about, just those two places. We didn't touch every place, but we touched in certain locations, not in its entirety. But this again, let me put the disclaimer out there for the family, okay? I'm gonna do it several times because people only will listen to video for about 2 minutes and stop, put in their information, and go on a rant or say what they gotta say. So, disclaimer. This is just our opinion, our view.
Our observations.
Our observation. Doesn't make it fact. Remember, if those been following me, like truth is only based upon one man's experience and understanding. That's all fact is. So your fact and my fact could be two different things based upon your experience and your understanding. We can go through two people can walk down the same street and have a total different experience and will give a total different report based upon their understanding. So where one walk down the street, that's why, let me just say this right here. That's why it's hard for me to watch white people travel the globe and they tell you how the people are. People treat people differently based upon skin color, based upon their aura, their vibe, how they connect with people. And yet we can listen to somebody else's report in totality and think that's the way it's going to be. That's why I say that, hey, a lot of advice people want me to give them, I can't tell you that. I can't answer that. This is just based upon our observations, our view, our experience, and our understanding. That is it. Got that, family? All right, let's get into it. We arrived in Tanzania in, what was that, babe? We arrived in Tanzania, what day?
Tuesday, December 22nd.
Tuesday, December 22nd, we arrived in Tanzania from Rwanda, okay? The flight was about 1 hour 45 minutes to about 2 hours, 2 hour flight. It was a short, sweet flight. We flew into Dar es Salaam, into their international airport. Arriving there, we're gonna get into the, we're gonna let Mrs. Go Black and Serenity kind of go into once we landed and their thoughts, their feelings, and whatever. And I'm gonna kind of save mine for last because Mrs. Go Black is a little tired and you know she wants to get her portion out the way. And Serenity, I know she likes the camera and she'll stay up for this, so you know she'll probably be going on. But anyway, all right. So we landed in Dar es Salaam, and what was it? Your first thoughts before getting off the plane or getting off the plane and what?
So getting off the plane, going into the airport, from the minute we got into the airport and met with the immigration officers, everyone was there to greet us with a smile, with a welcome. Everybody seemed friendly. And as we went from one station to the next, the men in the booths were laughing with each other, and it was just refreshing to see such a peace and happiness in the workers.
Serenity, what was your take arriving in Tanzania or Naya or Nia Raya?
Tanzania.
I know. Yeah.
People are less tense when it comes to COVID. No mask. Everybody speaks. Everybody talks to you. They don't just stare at you. They want to know things about you. They want to speak to you, know where you're from, how you're doing, how you liked it so far. Like, they're just very welcoming people.
And I'm gonna say that too, that I don't think that is any plight or anything against Rwanda's. We still know that, you know, there are those who are operating within the COVID, people behave differently. And I think what they're both saying is that I even experienced as well, is that people were free, open, go lucky. When we got into that airport, like she said, people were laughing, all that. One guy was singing. One guy had called Serenity up and said, "Come up, my friend." He said, "Friend, my friend." Everybody was lax. And then I asked a question about COVID in there in the airport, and it was the health. This guy had the health something on his thing, and he was like, you know, hey, you know, God answered our prayers. You know, there's no problem with COVID here. You know, we don't have those issues. And what that meant to me, family, was this right here. And I've said this before. You can put a magnifying glass on something. Even the cop killings that go on in America, and you'd swear that things are out of control, people getting killed 24 hours a day, and oh my God, I gotta make a move, I gotta do something. Oh, you know, we're gonna be, and I believe that's what the COVID is. They have caused a fear amongst the people to where People are operating and behaving outside of the norm. Getting into Tanzania, it was different. The people were laid back, didn't have a care in the world, and were friendly. No stress, no pressure, no like, put your mask on, wash your hands, stand your distance, don't touch the counters. We have encountered that time and time again, going into some countries. But there in Tanzania, no, no.
So I'm just going to break it down into my observations on a few areas. As far as transportation, it is very, very common to see the tuk-tuks in Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar. They're readily available, they're very affordable, and I actually like them better than Uber because since they're smaller, they can kind of maneuver more easily through the stalled traffic. And
That little beetle there is a tuk-tuk we're talking about there, right there.
and traffic was at times very, very heavy in Dar es Salaam. But the tuk-tuks, it was amazing how, you'd be sitting in the back thinking there's no way he's going to be able to squeeze, but they squeeze in between cars. And so I enjoyed that much better than in the Uber because we got there quicker. We mentioned this afternoon about the food, and the food, there is a very heavy influence of the Indian with the dishes. Lots and lots of dishes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner are Indian. Were you going to say something? Most dishes have rice or fries as the side. Not as many vegetables we saw in Dar es Salaam and in Zanzibar. The weather. The weather is much hotter and more humid than in Rwanda. And it is sunny. Did it rain?
Yes, it rained. It rained. I think the first night we were there, because we went out on the balcony and it was raining, still dripping water from the tops above us. So yeah.
Okay. One thing that was very pleasant to see when we were driving yesterday to the Jazani Forest and the Spice Farm, our driver pointed out a recreational area for children, an amusement park. It was a big amusement park. And that was a first to see for me in being in the cities where I visited, that it looked like a big fair. And he said, yeah, that's a spot for, the children to go and play. And it was very big. And that was something to see. The art scene in Dar es Salaam, oh my goodness, the artisans there are just unbelievable.
Artists. Wow.
The wood carvers and the mixed media painters. The art is just, there was so much that I would have liked to have purchased, but didn't. So I just took pictures to help me remember because the art scene was just incredible. We went to the Tinga Tinga Art, let me get the name right, Tinga Tinga Arts Cooperative Society. And we also went to the Winga Woodcarvers Market. And if in Dar es Salaam, I would recommend that anybody go to those two places because the art there will just blow you away. At the Woodcarvers Market, there was a huge tree, and they were in the process of carving that tree. The tree probably stood, I don't know, maybe 10 feet. And the detail was so intricate. And they said that piece was going to be what, $80,000?
Yeah. Go ahead. And I'll show them pictures and stuff while you talk so just to get my idea. Here's your photos. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was definitely. Go ahead.
We heard so much in Zanzibar, Hakuna Matata. And I really believe that a lot of the freedom that you see in the people, they live by that. No worries. It is such a freedom in Dar es Salaam and in Zanzibar you've just got to experience it. The people are kind of in a hustle bustle mode in Dar es Salaam because it is a big city and there are millions of people there. But even still, when because we stayed downtown, and walking through downtown, we would find mostly men in clusters, sitting, whether it was waiting for a taxi or if they were taxi drivers, or just sitting and chilling. They would speak. We would speak to them. They would speak to us, and they would tell us we were welcome. They would say caribou, or they would say mambo or jambo, and it was just it was pleasant being right downtown and walking amongst everyone. In Zanzibar Stone Town, we did a lot of walking through the alleyways several times a day, all different times of the day. And we saw children of all ages playing amongst each other, even when we would leave like around 9 or 10 o'clock at night after dinner, to see the children just having so much fun, through the alleys, playing with sticks and balls, and I can't tell you how many soccer games we saw. Our last night, there was like a shawarma festival at the beachfront, and there were several vendors selling all types of food, and lots and lots of, and this was at dusk, and even once the sun had gone down. And there were lots of little side soccer games amongst the children. There were, it almost looked like a competition of some boys jumping off the ledge into the ocean. And people were cheering them on, and people were taking pictures and videos. And there was just so much family togetherness that night on the beachfront.
Those are statues, the carvings that they were doing with the woodwork there, what she was talking about. I'm just trying to give you all just a little look of just the detail in what they do. When I was in Ghana, I was up in Abri, and in one of their I forget the name of the park, whatever, but somebody did this type of carving on a tree. I thought it was great. And these, you can see how huge these statues are, like $25,000. With the door for us, please. $25,000 for these statues that are. You can see how tall they are. And this one guy, he just does these huge carvings on these in wood. It's come from the wood they have. And so I just want to give you all a taste of that, what she's talking about. And yeah.
We were told that Zanzibar was 90% Muslim. And so even in the hotel where we stayed, there was a sign that said no alcohol. So you don't see people out and about drinking. We were walking out of Stone Town. We walked about a mile or two more into the town. And Go Black mentioned how odd it was to see men surrounding a television, watching games. We saw 2 or 3 different locations, where men were all just clustered kind of under a tent, watching a big screen TV, and nobody was drinking. They were just sitting, enjoying each other's company, watching the game.
And they were quiet too. I mean, because you know how we are, it's like, a couple of beers, it comes the cheers. And so, where we're like, yeah, they were just quiet, just watching the game. And I just thought it was like, wow, that's different, that seeing that, how quiet they were, but all these men watching the football, or soccer as they would call it.
But we did have an interaction with the Stone Town drunk. And he was with us for probably 15 minutes. He walked through Stone Town with us. We sat down at the beachfront. He sat down right with us. And the funny thing is that he talked the entire way as we were walking. And everybody who we passed, because, you know, he was just acting up. And everybody who we passed would either look at him and laugh and either do like this or they would do like this and say he drinks too much. But that was an experience. There are lots and lots and lots of cats in Zanzibar especially, but we also saw some in Dar es Salaam. So
Cats. Seem like cats are very in a lot of places.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But speaking of that, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm trying to go through my memory bank. When you're talking about Indians and all that right there, I think cats are pretty high up on the list, like a cow in a sense, I think.
I'm not sure.
So I think so. So somebody go ahead and let me know on that.
And I think those were my observations.
Wow, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Serenity, it is on you, the spotlight that you so love.
Yes. Okay. Is there a certain order?
You can do it however
From
you
time you
want.
get off the plane until whatever, go ahead. Or however which way you want to do it.
I'm gonna copy you. Okay. Let's see. What do you have? The art, as Mother was talking about, the art is pretty amazing, especially in Zanzibar, where there's like multiple stands and lines of shops, and you might think they all look the same, but every piece of art has a different personality to it. And it was nice seeing the different types of cool colors and different combinations that you typically wouldn't see in America. Just a new perspective on our culture and our art through our eyes and not others. The weather for me was a little too hot. I like it cold, as you guys know, but with the beach winds and the cool shades in the alleyways, it worked out fine. And it rained a lot. Like,
You thought so?
for me, it felt like it rained every day.
Oh, that's
all
right.
day.
It did have the first 3 days. It was morning
First
rain
3
In
days
Dar es
it was
Salaam.
rain.
in Dar es Salaam. Yes,
I
it
did have to
did.
use my umbrella.
And then Zanzibar, we got stuck in rain at the restaurant. The same restaurant,
Mhm.
2 different times.
Yes.
2 different
Lukeman's.
days. We ate there like,
Mhm.
it felt like infinity times, but I think it was only 3. But that was where we ate mostly for dinner. Let's see what else. COVID test? We didn't take any, right?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mhm.
That was a relief because those COVID tests really got me, especially from the US. They go all the way up. And then
But we did have that COVID test, and
Rhonda.
well, we had the one in Dar es Salaam too, at the Ministry of Health, because we had to have it to
Coming
get
to Kenya.
into Kenya.
and what was that one? The nose or
That was
the
when
mouth?
we waited at the Ministry of Health. It was nose and mouth.
It was
Mhm.
nose,
Nose
and
and
mouth.
mouth.
One for nose, one for mouth. Not both nostrils, just one. But it didn't hurt.
It
for
wasn't
me.
bad.
It wasn't bad at
Mm-mm.
all. Not compared to how the US does it. They're like mad concerned.
Yeah,
And then, what does that say?
recreation. I already talked about that. The amusement park.
Oh, okay.
Talk about your experience. Go ahead.
My experience, like
Yep.
the.
Talk about the beach and the guys coming on to
I
you.
was about to say that. Okay, so I mentioned earlier in our first live that there were a bunch of guys who would look at me or like whistle at me or wink at me, and it made me feel mad uncomfortable.
The whistle wasn't. It was more of a.
It was like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was like or something like that.
Or
That was the
they
most
do that to get people's
uncomfortable.
attention, and some people would do that to get your attention.
Yeah, and then, but also that, and then, I don't know, at the market, what was it called? What market was it?
The Darajani market.
The Darajani market.
Mm-hmm.
There was this old man who was with chickens. And this man came up to my mother and said, I want to marry your daughter. This old man came up to
I
my
wasn't
mom.
there. I was ahead of them.
You were on a
You were
live.
filming.
I was filming the room, yeah.
And I was just over there looking at chickens. And this man is like, I want to marry your daughter. Older than my parents. Full gray beard. I'm like...
Hey, it's free game here, yo. That way they do marriages and stuff. You can marry 4 if you're a Muslim. Yeah, and you know, hey, I think the 16 might even be a legal age here. I never asked that
No,
question.
not legal for me.
Yeah.
But he asked my age, and mom was like 16.
And
he
in
was
my
like,
mind, too young for
too
you.
young. And what did he say, mom?
And so then he asked about
University.
is she in university?
Or high
Is she in
school?
school? I said, she's still in school. And he said, I want to marry her.
Yeah. They think she's older than what she looks. So.
I don't know why.
Or
but
excuse me, older than what she is.
older than what I am. But he was like, I'll wait till you're 18 or something, or you start university. I was like, and so we walked out. I tried to avoid contact, and mom was nudging me like this. He's looking at you through the window. I'm like, he's still looking. And I turned around, and that man's still looking. I felt mad uncomfortable the rest of the day. But, and it was the same with multiple people, not like asking to marry me or whatever, but like looking at me or winking at me, which was very weird for me, because like I don't get attention like that at all in America, and it was really uncomfortable. And at that festival, you know how all the young people are out and stuff, I thought I was blending in. Apparently not, because I got a lot of stares that night. A lot of stares. And I was like, okay. But, yeah, that's one of the things I didn't really like. Older people hitting on me. Like that one guy who was also in a market. He was talking to me. I thought we were having a nice conversation about sales or something, and he asked my age. It was weird. And he said, and I said 16, and he was like, oh, you're young. I'm older. I was like, why are we talking about age? But then it hit me. Oh.
You could be that 4th wife.
Oh, that 4th wife. Okay. That hit me. I was like, I thought we were just having a friendly conversation. Not trying to link or something. I don't know.
Well, the good thing is that, you know, hey, a man who sees beauty is going to try to come on to a woman if he sees that, you know, there's opportunity. The other thing I saw in that was that at least Serenity can see she doesn't have to dress provocative to get a man's attention. She can still dress and be who she is, and you still going to have men who's going to find the beauty. So that right there is where I think every young lady should be able to see that you don't have to take all your clothes off or dress half naked to get attention. When a man sees a beauty, the man's going to approach and he's going to speak, and you know, so hey. Best a man than a woman coming on to you. That happens over in America or in some of these Western countries. And it happens even, I'm quite sure, some parts of Africa where it's still hidden, because I heard, you know, there's some areas even that still has those, you know, lifestyles that are done in the dark. So, But yeah, so what else, Serenity, did you find interesting?
For me though, like most of the guys who I thought were my age and they told me their age were like 24, 25 and they look 17 or 18. And I'm like, a lot of these people that I thought were young are actually older than I thought. They just look older to me, I guess. I don't know why.
Because of hard life.
Hard knock life.
It's hard life. These people out here working. I'm talking about a lot of things that we use for as machinery and stuff. A lot of folks out here is doing it by manual labor.
Yes.
And my wife's taking a whole lot of photos of people out here just, oh man.
Pushing and lifting.
I'm gonna find that picture. Did you took that guy
goodness.
today?
That big guy with all that load.
I mean, tons
stuff.
and tons of potatoes and bags of cement and just piled high, hanging off the edges of the push carts, struggling up hills, but they're doing it. And some of the loads were so heavy, it required 3 people to push them, but they're doing it. And that is so admirable that they're about their hustle. They're working.
What else, Serenity?
I noticed that earphones come in handy for ignoring those
Outside sounds.
outside sounds and comments. Especially for markets, you know, when they want to persuade you to buy something, that works well. Very well. What else? The clothing. I noticed that a lot of the clothing brands have like shirts and bags and stuff, but like when I asked a few people like did they know what it was, like by the beach. I asked the brands if they knew what they were. They didn't know, so I was like kind of surprised that they were wearing branded labels but didn't know whether it was from a purse store or a shoe store or Nike or whatever. They just wear the labels because I guess it's American.
Yeah, there's a lot of secondhand clothing that's sold around Africa that comes from different places around the world, and so yeah, you see, I spoke to a young man. Remember the young man
while we were waiting for the COVID test.
COVID test. He was wearing a rebel flag shirt, and I kindly walked up to him and I explained to him what that flag meant in America. And he spoke English and he says, "Oh, thank you." And I said, "Oh yeah, that right there is a people who hate us." So yes, you see people with, you know, United States Air Force or Army or Navy. They have all kind of clothing that they get from, you know, the Western world, and they wear them. And so I think what she's saying is basically there are some brands and things that may not even understand, but you see all kind of items that are highly. Especially when I go to Ghana, a lot of people want the American clothing. You know, they want that. You know, they're willing to trade for it, and so they think that American clothing is the best, or even the UK clothing or the Europe clothing is better than theirs. When it's all, I tell the guys, it's all made in China. So, and they just put a label on it. Here's a photo that we were talking about. This man pushing. It was him on the back and then another guy on the front pulling this heavy load up the highway. And that's day in, day out. Now, when you see that, it's just like, wow. I mean, and who knows how far they got to go. But was that going across the bridge?
Yes.
That was going to, now I know that bridge is probably every bit of a third of a mile. But where they had to go and how far uphill somewhere, I don't know how they do it. So, what else you got?
Did you talk about food?
I did, but what
She
was
don't
your-
have to. It's your experience. What your experience is.
Okay, well, I like the food. The food I noticed is less sweet everywhere we went. like with the desserts. I kind of liked it though, but I know going back to America is going to be hard. Like the donuts here aren't sweet. Well, they're sweet, but not our sweet, they're sweet. And I know like going back home, if I get Krispy Kreme,
It's gonna be way over
gonna
the top.
be way over the top with a lot of water. So
We might not even do Krispy Kreme anymore.
not anymore. I'm fine with just the cake donuts now. And then the sausage that I destroyed at so many places. The chicken sausage. What else did they have?
beef sausage.
No pork. Was that it? Those sausages here hit different. That's a fact. Sausage hits different here. It is really good. And just the food seems more natural, less like added ingredients that aren't good for you. Like the sodas, no high fruit,
fructose, corn syrup.
Yeah, syrup. No, none of that, or just unwanted ingredients in ketchup and stuff. It's just the little things that make a difference.
Is that it?
That's it.
Alrighty then. Well, you know, and I'm gonna probably have you chime in a little bit, but whenever you're ready to go, you can go. So let me give the man's perspective, I guess, or the masculine view on Tanzania, whatever. Yeah, we flew in to the country, and the first thing I noticed getting off the planes was the no mask. You know, actually the people who are actually tying down the plane or making that, they had the mask on, and I'm not sure if that's because what plane was it we were flying on? Was it a Rwandan plane?
It was Rwandair.
So they of course still going to keep their precautionary measures, so they had their mask on. But as we walked towards the airport, you saw people without masks. So that was a great thing. Feeling the heat, because I love the heat, getting off that plane, and it hit me, and I was like, yes, I'm in my element. You know, felt the bead of sweat start to form on my eyebrow. And so Rwanda's weather is definitely beautiful. I could live in a place like that because it's very mild weather. Not too cold, not too hot, but it's just, I like it a little bit more warmer. So, but Tanzania, the weather was just it's on point to me. You know, it's just warm. You know, and some people will say outright hot. That's what I like, you know, but that's not even really on the top of my list of things, because what I want to do is give you all just a food for thought. And when it comes to either you wanting to visit or to move to Africa, because there are just some things that I put on top of my list that I think is important, that other folks that I don't hear talk about. Many people think moving to countries or even visiting countries, that it's about finding some land and build a house and call it, sing kumbaya all day long, okay? And I know that is not what we are all looking for. And because there's more to it when it comes to living. And we know how it is there in the US or in the Europe or wherever you're living. We know that there's got to be great relationships. If people don't like you, you know how you feel. That's why people are moving away from America. And so, you know, it's very important to us is that how are you received when you go somewhere? Are people outgoing? Will they speak without you have to speak first? You know, can you get a smile? These are very important to us, because those who can call you brother and sister, you know, sometimes, you know, you feel welcomed. The one thing my wife always do, no matter wherever we go, is she's like, if I'm driving through a city or we going through the airport, is where is the welcome sign? And if we miss it, I got to turn back around on a major highway and get off the exit, come back so she can take her photo of welcome. And then if they don't have it, she gonna like, this ain't no friendly state. This ain't no friendly. At the airport. I
was not welcomed.
Yeah, I was not welcome. Going through the airport, she's looking for the welcome sign. And that's important to us, you know, that You gotta feel loved. And if you're not loved and you just wanna go somewhere and be on your own desert island or find a country that you can just find the cheapest land and build your house, so be it. But these are the things that are on top of my list. Because I know you all are like, okay, are you gonna sell here? Are you gonna do this? Or you decide here, this and that. The other thing that I look at is the government. That's very important to me. The government. What is the history of the country and the government? What is the government doing for the people? Because what the government do for the people is what they're going to do against us. And so I have to do my research on that, and then I talk to the locals. Like I share with y'all, family, there's a lot of people who do not want to be on video for the negativity they say about their own country. And so those things I cannot share with you because I don't have the footage. Only thing I can say is that of some things what some people are saying. And some things I don't even disclose on certain things because there again, it's their opinion, it's how they perceive things to be, and I just don't want to make one person's word speak out for a whole nation of people. And so if I consistently hear something about a place, then I can say, okay, that might be a little credible because I'm hearing, how they say, one person saying something, it's just them saying it, but when you get two or three, it becomes a witness. And it becomes a witness, that means it's valid than what some people are saying about it. So I look at the government, I'm looking at the people, okay? Those are tops for me, to decide where we're gonna have a home base at. The third thing that I look at then is that, dealing with the government is what the infrastructure, okay? If it doesn't have good roads, or roads have been the same and you don't see building the roads, and whether it's the water, whether it's the electricity, those things that I look at, because we're coming from a place to where we're used to that. I'm not trying to sit in a teepee or a hut somewhere without electricity. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to do it. I've done it, but I have beyond myself to think about when it comes to her. And my wife there, she loves a lot of finer things in life, and there's nothing wrong with it. Working hard for something, and you've gotten to a place to be like, why do I need to take a couple steps backwards? So we think about that. A lot of YouTubers don't tell you that though. A lot of YouTubers are gonna just sit here and point out the good. Come on, look at this land right here costs this, and a house and this and that. But they're not talking about governments, they're not talking about infrastructure, they're not talking about the people, are they friendly? And so I try to make sure that I at least share that. Now, let me start with just one thing that stood out to me that was just a question mark of, I don't really care for. And I said in my previous video, is the police. Many of citizens here can't stand how the police are. And what I mean by can't stand, the police, how many times have we been stopped? 4 times?
4 times.
4 times in Tanzania in a taxi ride. Now, they're more apt to stop the transportation vehicles than they will private vehicles, okay? And how do we know that? We were told that. We were actually in an Uber when we're looking at the license tag, and the license tag is not matching up with the Uber driver car. And some of them, this is what they do, and you gotta be aware of this, because if you're gonna order an Uber and and it tells you what the license tag is, the person's name and stuff, and these jokers are riding up with different license tags. Well, what are they doing? The yellow and the white represent something different. The white is business and the yellow, I think, is private. Either vice versa, can't remember. So instead of running the risk of having to be stopped by a police officer and then have to turn around and pay them a little money if let's just say they find something wrong or say there's something wrong, they'll switch it and make it seem as though that they are driving a private car. We've been stopped 4 times. Now, I didn't see any money exchange. I would ask, was they looking for money, this and that? One vehicle we were in, he said yes. The officer asked him, and the guy, we don't know what he was saying. He was saying Swahili, but our guide, he did. I asked him, I said, "What did he say? What did your brother say?" This and that. He was, because his brother's doing this like this, like this, right? And I know right there, I know what he's saying, because they do it when they make when there's a mistake done or something. They say, either they'll say, I'm so sorry, I beg of you, I don't have, but our guide said he was telling him he don't have the money right now, he will get him next time. This is what's happening with the police. And I think that the police, from what I'm told, not what I think, but what I'm told is that, you know, they are definitely abusing their authority. And I had an opportunity to stop a police and talk to him. He had about a 3 foot plastic hose under his arm. Now, you know, we see the batons that most police officers have, but he had a plastic hose. And so I walked, so I'm gonna engage in conversation with him because I'm not scared of the police, you know, hey. I walk up to him and I tell him, you know, hey, how you doing, police? You know, how long you been in, this and that? And I said, what is this for? What is it for? And he broke out laughing. And so I said, oh, you do this to the people. And he breaks out laughing. Now, he grabs some mango from a vendor, walks behind the car, and then he kind of separates himself from me and just laughs, and then he's eating his mango. So I said, I'm gonna walk over here and continue to ask him some questions. So I asked him, I said, so, I said, why? Why would you, you know, try to hit people, you know, with that? And he didn't answer the question. I don't think he spoke all that well English, but he just chuckled over it, you know. And then I told him, I said, yeah, you know, the difference over in America and here is that America shoot and kill you all. I mean, kill us over in America. Yet, you know, you all have this and you do this, huh? And he just starts laughing again. He was 16 years in the police force. I got to ask him about the pension. They do have a pension. After about 15 years, you can start at a small pension if you want to leave the police force. But for the most part, I asked him too, because he didn't pay that vendor. I said, do y'all get free food when you go to vendors? And the first thing he said was, I'll pay him. He never paid him. So it's like how our police goes into convenience stores and get the coffee and a donut. I guess that's what they do since they're on the street and they're protecting or whatever. They can go ahead and stop by any vendor and grab. But I feel a sense of abuse of authority when it comes to the police officers. Because this one police officer, when we was in our van, he knocked on the door to tell us to go. And then when the guy started moving, he banged on it and made it seem like it was his fault. And even that's what the guy told us. It was like, yeah, he told us to go. And then all of a sudden he wants to. And now the guy's pleading that he will pay him next time he comes. That's the issue I saw there. But besides that, you know, does that play a bearing on about the country? You better believe it. Yes. Why? Because who wants to be caught up trying to go and have to deal with a police officer who's wanting you to pay? It does not just happens in Tanzania. It happens over here in Kenya as well. And this is what the people say. And the people really don't like it. And so that's one aspect of when it came to recognizing what was going on in Tanzania. And so the other thing was that I saw that was interesting is that was a big influence of India here. And like I said, if y'all didn't watch the video, the amazing thing about that was that the British brought them from India as far as slaves, and they worked on the railways to Uganda. And so it's a heavy influence. But I'm gonna tell you this right here. I met a couple of very kind Indians, and so like anyone else, you find the good and the bad in every person. And there seems to be a pretty good relationship with them. We've eaten in several of the restaurants. We were approached and they conversed with us. Was the one on top of that building?
The Silk Route.
Yeah, you know, the woman spoke to us. Mm-hmm. The other guy, he came by and talked to us too. And then we went to this other restaurant and they spoke to us as well.
And they're very proud Tanzanians.
Yeah.
Very proud Tanzanians.
We had a Muslim brother from India, and he talked to us. And I tell you, I wanted to record the guy because, you know, once he found out that we were living in the U.S., and he said, "Oh, y'all gotta come. I don't know why y'all not coming. You know, you see, this is exactly his words. You see what they're doing to you. They hurt you. Here's family. We're Africans. We want you here. Didn't he say all that? I said, man, I need to record you. But we had a tour guide with us, and we had to continue on. So when I came back, well, let me back up. So he said all those kind words about, you know, for me to tell y'all, look, America's not the place. Africa's the opportunity. This is what he said. He's this dude from India. Muslim guy, had his beard and all that right there. But then he also, I said, well, I need to get that on video. And so he said, yeah, he would do it. I said, well, unless, you know, you might feel afraid or whatever. And what was his words he said? He said, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, he sure did.
He said, I don't give a damn. I only answer to Allah. I don't fear no man, you know. But when we came back around to interview him, he said, hey, I got to go to prayer. So he said, I got to go pray. So which he did. They called for prayer. But I wish I would have got that video. But that's many of get shout outs to the. So many of people. So I find that, yeah, the relationships are good with the Christian, with the Muslims, and those with those who may be other. But, and here comes the but, they own a lot of stuff out here. And that to me is a little worrisome, is that they own a lot of business beyond what I'm seeing us Africans own. But there again, I have not been everywhere. So, but in the places we've gone to, I think Lukeman's is owned by an African, which the locals told us to go by and eat. And so there are several businesses there, but the Indians own a lot of businesses here, or the Arabs own a lot of businesses here. And I typically ask, you know, who owns this? Who owns it? Is it African? Is it Tanzanian? Or is it Kenyan? Who owns this? And yes, they've been here hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, been in this country here. And so a lot of African brothers and sisters work for them, you know. But in saying that, that's my observation, that's how I see it, and that's what I'm heard, that's what I hear. So the other side is that there's plenty of room and opportunity still for us and anybody else who wants to come in and do whatever business you want. There's a lot of African brothers and sisters who has their own businesses that they're running. A lot's out here, you know, that you see out here doing their own thing. But what I'm talking about is when it comes as far as the ownership of the buildings, I've seen more of them than us owning buildings and the bigger businesses and stuff like that.
Thank you, Snuggle668, for your contribution. Do the Indians and blacks have an unsaid discontent against each other? Have we noticed it at all?
No, haven't noticed any of it. I just said that, is that no, the relationships from what I see and from what I hear, they're okay. They're okay. Now, I'm quite sure every man has his own experience, but from what I've seen, the relationship is good. So, and I've watched some of the interactions. It was good. And so, you know, that's all I can say on that, you know. The people are friendly. Yes, the people are friendly here. We had a total different characteristic that we noticed coming here into Tanzania. Like I said, the people are just free flowing and going. And I told my wife this. I said, when we were out at the beach and at the park, and the younger guys was diving off the ledges into the ocean, and the young ladies were out walking around and the families and stuff. And I said, you know what? The Western world stole this from us. How many people can you just think about it? I mean, when's the last time? But well, when I left America in October, we were on a partial lockdown. Kids were out of school. They still was having a social distancing, and walking in the stores, distancing and stuff like that was still going on when I left in October. But seeing that, yes, the other day, it was like a light bulb went off. And it was like, I forgot because we were in Kenya and we were in Rwanda and they've taken their measures with COVID virus. I have no qualms with that. That's the way their country sees it and that's the way their leaders want to deal with it. I'm not going to scoff against that. But I forgot that quick how we are as a people need each other and need to be amongst each other. And just watching the kids and the moms and the dads and people are just laughing and kids are running and jumping off the sides and I mean, I was like,
And there was a dance competition in the
dance competition, they were break dancing and having the other little kids come up and stuff like that. And I was like, look what they stole. And my hat's off to President Magufuli because, you know, I have seen over the years people's faith wither away. I've watched people now use a God as a genie in a bottle, wanting to rub the bottle and only want to receive something of what they ask or pray for. I have watched people's faith get so low that they claim to be such followers of a religion or faith that they don't stretch their faith. And for President Magufuli to said, we prayed, and this is what the people told us. The Muslims and the Christians came together and prayed for 4 days?
4 days.
4 days that the COVID virus would be taken and do no harm to the people. Taken away and do no harm to the people. And they said that God had healed the people. That's a ballsy move, yo, on faith. If you're going to live it, if you're going to preach it, you better live it. And that's what I gained. And we were talking more and more people, and they're like, oh no, God healed us from that. You don't see no mass running around here. You know, hearing of people, some say they haven't heard of people. Some people said they heard some people had gotten COVID. But there again, like I said before, whatever you put a magnifying glass on, I'm telling you, family, you will make it bigger than what it actually is. And this is what the world has done with that COVID. They're so focused on the positive, people popping positive, when only 2 or 3% is affected, which are the elderly people. Tanzania looked at it differently. We're not going to put no focus on that. What we're going to do as a people, Muslims, Christians, in your private places, let's pray to our God that this COVID do not come in here and stop us from doing everyday business that we need to. Because it's critical in a city like an African country or city that you're going to pull away people from their daily life when most people work hand to mouth on a day-to-day basis. Or what effects it has on your country because now you're stopping your exports or your imports or people from coming in. I'm telling y'all, much respect. And I'm going to tell y'all this right here too, all right? Like I said earlier, sometimes people will only tell you the good side. And they leave out other things. And I'm watching people rush to Africa. Let me tell you, family, okay? Hold your horses. If you feel a little panicky, you feel a little anxious and angst and all that right there, just calm down. There ain't no need to be, I gotta get over there. The land's gonna be sold. Opportunity's gonna be in, all right there. Africa's not going nowhere. It's plenty. Take your time, do your research, and come visit, okay? That's what this channel's about, exposing Africa at its greatest point. It's great. But also sharing with you, there might be some trials or some tribulations that you may have to encounter getting into countries or how countries' governments may do. And that's not to slander anyone or to badmouth anybody. It is only about giving you only what we see. And so as far as Tanzania is concerned, yes, enjoyed it. I enjoy the weather, I enjoy the people. The people are free, they're free going. The kids are out playing, the families are all out together. It's a total it's what we were used to, and you too. Now I'm gonna tell you, be the watcher. And watch how many people are gonna move to Tanzania who are in other countries. Because there's many people talking about they don't wanna take that vaccine. Oh, the countries that some people are in, oh, because of the WHO, the World Health Organization, who, of course, are giving money to countries who's going to use and pimp the COVID. By the cases they get certain funding. What you think is going to happen when it comes to vaccines? I'm just being real with you folks. I'm just being real. We got a super chat. Go ahead.
Like 2 or 3, I can't remember. Thank you, Snuggle668, for your donation.
Excuse me.
You said one already. Go ahead, read it.
I'm always impressed with the dynamic with you, your wife, and your daughter. It is pretty impressive how you all move as a unit. Keep up the good work.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And
Thank
then
you.
James Kane, thank you for your donation. But how can you make or sustain a profit if the people don't have the money to support your business?
Didn't Zaid go through that? Didn't he discuss that on your?
Yeah, check out the video of our brother Zaid, who has a small business in Rwanda, and he talks quite a bit of things about the business aspect and the good, the bad, the ugly, what's going on in Rwanda, because he's got employees and people have told him some things. But yeah, he talks about the business aspect of it. But it was about how you turn a profit when people don't support your business. Hey, profits is what keep people afloat when it comes to the business. So yeah, that's real. Zanzibar. Okay, let's get to Zanzibar. Okay, so was Dar es Salaam was more or less talking about when we got there and all, finding out about the friendly people, finding out about it's a huge city. I showed pictures of that huge city. Traffic galore in the inner city. Yes, it's ridiculous with the traffic. I would not want to be living down in downtown area because of all the traffic. But there's outskirts, and we went to the outskirts of Kiboni. What's it called? Over where the beach, what's the name lived at? Kigaboni. Over there, where more of the residential folks lay back, relax. You know, you can find you a house you can rent for $300-400 if that, and the people are peaceful. We ride on the beach. Check out my video, the one that's that got the kids on there about how they, who's more smarter, blacks or whites. But it was good there. Speaking on the police too, we got stopped 5 times because we got stopped by a police inspector on that beach.
As we were leaving the beach.
As we were leaving the beach.
With the local.
Yes, and those who watched that video, I had to turn around and then I had to cut it off, and then, boy, they came over and then told me to come over there by the truck, questioned me,
It was 3 of them.
asked for our passports. And they checked everything out. They were friendly, though. He was friendly. He was asking questions and where are you from the U.S. and all that stuff right there. But he was doing his job, and I told him, So it was good, but we were checked there, too. But, yeah, so let's talk about Zanzibar. So we took the Zanzibar trip right across, still part of Tanzania. And it was about hour 45, 2-hour boat ride. We got there and everything. And... Zanzibar is a tourist area, and if you watch my short video of about a minute and something, that I showed that how many white people were in the airport leaving. Could not believe that they had what was the ones from Russia? Ukraine. A lot of people from Ukraine, UK. Yeah, they was calling them. And like I said, it was 99% of the white people that was there. But that is their getaway. That's their vacation spot. It's like where, we would probably go down to Jamaica or, the Cayman Islands or, somewhere down in Cozumel, Mexico. Zanzibar is a huge tourist area. So you do have a lot of Europeans around the globe that on this side of the world who comes to Zanzibar, and so that was that's when we saw the most of the white folks that were there in Zanzibar was at the airport. Many of them.
That was the only time we were in the minority again.
Yeah, and so right there in that room there, yeah. But Zanzibar was nice. I would recommend anybody to go to it. As far as Zanzibar is concerned, if you watched the previous video that I did, please go in the description. The information for if you're interested in purchasing land or buying a house, a condo, or what other, a single residence home. What's it called? Fumba. Fumba is an area that's just about 20 minutes from, would you say 20 minutes from?
It was 20 minutes.
20 minutes from Stone Town, where the tourists and everything is. I like that development area because they're doing big things building around there. I think it's going to be a good investment because it's a lot of things they're going to be doing around there. So check that out there. I think that we're probably going to acquire a property or two there. The other place is called the Soul. I got to go check that out. We're probably going to acquire that there too, because that is a tourist area. They have annually the parachute sailing or whatever it's called, surfing or something like that, and it's in the beach area, and so the prices are just going up. One of my acquaintances there at Fumba bought a property there, and also at Seoul. She's a woman in her 60s. She's from America, New York City. She's got property in various countries, but she purchased her property there and also in the Seoul. She was telling us how much the price costs and to what it's cost now. Prices are slowly going up, and so I think that's a good investment that one can do, or as well as just living in it. You know, she's purchased one for Airbnb and the other one for her to live in as a residence, and her family moved here with her. Do we have another?
We do. From Maximilian, thank you so much for your donation. Thanks for the business advice earlier. You gave me a lot to think about. I really need to let my money work for me.
Got to make your money work for you, yes. If you're working for money, family, you got to turn that around so that your money works for you. And yes, there's got to be that period of time you're working for the money and you're doing right by your money, you know. And so if you're doing right by your money, sometimes you're going to go ahead and just go ahead and stop splurging and start stacking a little, saving a little, maybe put a little investment in, and then just start to watch your finances grow, and then little by little you can start acquiring some things, and then let that work for you, not you work for it. And that's how you get there. What else we got? So Zanzibar, yeah, we didn't get to the east side of the island, but I will when I go back here shortly and check out the rest of the island. And so we'll see. But the reason why I mentioned Fumba and the Soul is because I gotta go research a little further, because I was told, and I don't like to rely on what somebody tells me. I like to find out for myself. But I'm told that's the only two locations that you can purchase land as a foreigner. And that is at the Fumba and also at the Soul. So if you want to keep that in mind, you can go back to my previous video. I have 3 links in there. It's all about the company. It's got the sizes. It got the cost. I put that out there for you all if you want to. I ain't getting no cutbacks if you hit on the link. I'm not that type of person. Don't need that money like that. That's a free link out there. You go ahead, click on. Numbers are there. Reach out to them. You ain't got to mention my name at all. I ain't, because they don't know my name. So, but they sent me the information. I was there. So,
2 donations.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Afrogenesis, thank you very much. Love the business content. One love, fam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sean Banks, thank you so much for your donation. #1 fan. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Let me see what else right here that I had here. Driving, they drive on the opposite side of the road than we do. Very confusing when you're walking down the street, because it's been times we know walking in the street and like, oh, I looked the wrong way. And, you know, I've caught myself several times doing that. And you freak yourself out, because, I mean, there's been a time or two where, you know, a car's coming, and or if you're in the busy city, at least you'll be able to see the traffic. But when you get on some of these other roads, you forget. And so that's a little tricky. The steering wheel is on the other side of the car, so when you get in and sit in the front seats on the other side. So that's one thing that was very tricky, and still I'm trying to get my mind to keep remembering. You got to look in the opposite direction. So that's what I found that was a little different and all that right there. Let's see here. What else we have that we wrote down that maybe we want to share? let me say this right here about the Muslims and the Christians. And I know I read sometimes people, who, detest religion and all that right there. Let me share this with you right here, family. Yes, everybody should do a history check on what their faith is and where it comes from, where it stems from. The one thing that I thought it was very interesting is that at least the Africans will tell the story of how Islam got here, how Christianity got here, and what was the force that they were brought upon if you did not convert to those various things. But even saying that, the people get along great, like I said, and I have to think, because I know a lot of people, they religion. And I say, you know what? I think religion is a discipline. It's a teacher, if you allow it to be. And it can grow you mentally, spiritually, even physically, because there are some principles, a part of it, that one, if want to practice it, is going to have to engage in a lot of change within their mind and their body and their spirit. When I was under Christianity before I graduated it, and I say graduate, people don't understand when I say that, but I carved my teeth in it, and I walked that thing out, and it helped me to made me to the man I am today. And to why you gonna hear why. How is a man gonna be able to leave his wife and still remain faithful? How a man can walk a straight line and not take the short route or the easy route and becoming crooked or corrupt or anything like that. I'm gonna talk about some of those things that I still hold near and dear to me. And so, and I say this lastly, thank goodness that there is the religions out here. Can you imagine a world we would live in if there was no accountability? Most religions have some sense of accountability. What I mean by that is that there is reward in the end. Some people say, heaven, hell, this and that. Well, thank goodness there is, because we do know there are people out here who have a disregard for other people's and don't have no accountability to any greater, higher being or anything. This world would be in chaos if there was no accountability whatsoever. But I love the discipline that is there. You can go ahead.
From Ima Ayan Amuna, I hope I said that correctly. Thank you so much for your donation. Love your family, love your work, love the input Queen Serenity has toward her experiences.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And we have one from In the Beginning, Sopery. Thank you so much. What is the name of the video you are referring to that talks about the property for sale? The links for the Soul and
yeah.
Town.
That was my last live video we did today. And I, what was the title on that? Was Mubasa Part 2. I think it was Mubasa Part 2. So yes, just go check out the videos. This should be the top one of the live I did. I think it was Mubasa Part 2. And you'll see in the link. Just click in the description. Yeah, and so so what else we have here? The people, as far as the creativity, I mean, it blows my mind on just the paintings, the carved workings, the ingenuity.
And it's not to say that it's not in other countries.
Oh, it is. It's everywhere. We are a people, y'all, that are just brilliant. It's unbelievable, the ingenuity, the innovativeness. It's amazing. It's amazing. And the ingenuity that we have and the innovativeness was all taken and patented in other countries to make it to what they saw when they come here. I mean, that's just proven, And so anything goes here. Anybody can come here and steal an idea. I've heard of horror stories of, people utilizing our mindset, our brain, our intellect, even in USA, turn around and take your ideal and patent it and make it their own and make millions off of it. It's what happens. But yeah, the creativity of how it is. Yes, the outdoor recreation that my wife was talking about earlier is nothing like seeing the youth out there having fun and people out there of all ages outside having fun. Recreation, we saw the amusement parks. We saw outdoor things for people to do there in Zanzibar. and it was good. You know, it's good that you have that. We hadn't seen amusement park yet, and that was the first one we saw. And like I said, we haven't been all around all the countries and stuff like that. But yeah, it was good to see. Let's see what else here, and then. Yeah, you know, the other thing I want to say about our people because of life situations is that, and this goes far as for each country I've been into, is that most Africans I speak to, they know why they're in the situation because of being colonized, and that they have been at a disadvantage. And I told the guide today, I said, we're going to have to stand up and claim what's ours. And when I say stand up, it's just to recognize who we are as a people and to tell the world who we are as a people. Because of the fact that I still see that we are still, as a people here in Africa, in a servitude or servants to that capacity as a whole. Not everybody, but the majority of people. And because of maybe the government or the conditions and, you know, this long lingering residue of colonization, it's time for us now to wake up and start to now go above where we are. I got a video coming, which of course is going to be here tomorrow. I think it's going to be live, of generational wealth. I'm going to get into that conversation. We do a poor job of leaving the baton with our children to take it to the next level, because we live a life about ourselves and not about our kids. This journey I am on, I am not doing for myself. I tell my kids, I'm doing this for y'all. And if y'all don't want to take the baton, there's an African child out here who will be more than glad to take it. Believe me, it will happen, and it will be left to somebody. So either get in where you fit in at, or just stay where you are and continue to do what you do. But, you know, we have to get to that point of getting out, being servants, workers. You're working 9 to 5 for people. It's time to go beyond that and start working for yourself. That's why from the day I retired from the military, and I had my business while I was in the military, I said, man, when I get done with this, I will never work for anybody. I couldn't see myself doing it. Now, I've worked for people before, if you want to call it that. What I mean by that, I've been a high school coach, but that wasn't working to me. That was all like ministering to children and motivating and encouraging them and trying to build them up, because they didn't pay nothing but pennies. They didn't get paid no money to do that. And, you know, and then I volunteer for free, helping out the homeless. So we have to get to a place, being outside of working for ourselves. Do something small. It's easy, family. It's easy. Just, okay, my other video I'm going to do is, I got 4 videos up of lives. And I'm telling y'all, y'all buy into this right here. I'm telling y'all, you're going to see something different. Is it a new year or a new mind? We always singing the same songs every new year. We're always making the old
Resolutions.
New Year's resolutions, and we ain't doing nothing with this. We talking about we gonna change up work, change up job, change up. What about change self? Because if you change this, all doors are going to become open to you. So we're going to talk about that too. So I'm noticing that in Africa. Go ahead.
Thank you, Maximilian, for your donation. Mrs. Go Black, my grandparent / father, and tons of first cousins are from Milwaukee. Last name Hannah, Capitol Core area. I can't say that I remember meeting anybody with the last name of Hannah, but I definitely know the Capitol Core area.
Yeah.
You can do that one.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Glow Bennett Solutions, for your donation.
We appreciate them.
We definitely appreciate it. So family, yeah. So these are the things that we enjoyed about Tanzania and things that stood out to us that made our eyes open. I know people gonna say, well, you're gonna like it there, this and that, you're gonna stay there, you're gonna build there, you're gonna do whatever there. Well, I've already said that, definitely looking at trying to acquire some property, of course. I think it's a good investment. I invest in properties, we do. And so, yeah, I think it's a good thing, to do that. The other thing is that come to Tanzania is that I'm going to be sitting there here shortly because of this whole COVID thing. They don't do the COVID testing. They don't do the mask and the vaccines talking and stuff like that. So, I have to sit somewhere to where I feel like that I can watch how the rest of the world is reacting and doing, where I'm sitting in a kind of like a safe haven, and I'm still hoping that something changes where they can get stuck here with me, so they can get stuck here. But we know that we have other things we have to do too. So, and obligations, unfinished business and things like that we have to take care as well. Let's get to some questions, and then we're gonna end this here. We're gonna go ahead and do, let's see here. We've been hour and 21 minutes. Let's do 10 minutes of asking questions, and then we are going to say our good nights because it's 11:31 right now here. And stay tuned tomorrow as we do another live. I wanted to give y'all a few lives before the so-called New Year. And I just share what's on my heart, and hopefully you all, it will be able to agree with what's on your spirit, so that, because I like to listen to people too, and I'm like, dang on, yeah, that's on me. I've been hearing that too, and within myself and stuff. It's good to hear people speak, so that you can see there is, what you're hearing, you can make some things clear. Okay.
Ben Carl wants to know, did Serenity ever get to meet Ayla from Unapologetic Nomads?
No.
We did not have an opportunity to meet with them, but perhaps next time. We would have loved to have met them.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else we got here.
Could you please give us the time when you're going to be live next?
Yeah, the time is on each one of those videos. You'll be able to see when it's going to be going live. Yeah, just go to the channel, go black, press on the Africa emblem, and then it'll open up the videos, what have you, and then it should be at the top of the lives.
The names of the two properties in Zanzibar for rental investment is The Soul and Fumba Town, F-U-M-B-A Town.
Mm-hmm. Open yours up so I can look at yours and I can tell them. I can give them that right now too. I can just give y'all the information and then save y'all some time. I should, allow people to do their homework. But hey, let's save some time for y'all. Other questions?
Amy G says you should write a book. Wealth of info.
I am going to. That I am going to do when I get back over in Tanzania. I'm going to write not a big book, but maybe a guidance book, and how to get your passport, things to look out for in certain countries, or things that one should know.
Will we ever go back to Rwanda? Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh yeah. We got friends there now. We got people we connect there with, My man Collins, he's there, Oh, Collins,
Hey,
what's up?
Collins.
He probably
Hi.
watching it, Yeah, we met one of the happiest Rwandans that there are.
Oh my goodness.
John Claude.
John Claude.
We stayed in his.
If you're watching.
Yeah, we stayed in his Airbnb.
And his beautiful family.
His family too. Just a happy-go-lucky guy.
Very welcoming.
Great spirit. Yes. Great spirit. We met Zad there. Me and Zad kicked it off like we knew each other for years. I hope he goes back to Ethiopia so that I could connect with him and go visit and stuff like that.
Are we planning on visiting Uganda? We were going to visit Uganda as part of this East African tour trip, but the opportunity just didn't avail itself with all the COVID testing. But we plan on visiting all 54 countries, and Uganda will definitely be on the list, for sure.
Yeah, and King
Obatunde.
Obatunde is there. I'd like to meet that brother too. You know, he's doing his thing out there, holding it down over in Uganda, and you know, he's got his YouTube channel and stuff like that. Check him out. Definitely want to go out there and see him. And was that O'Shea Jackson?
O'Shea Duke Jackson.
Duke Jackson, yeah, he's out there too. Definitely would love to meet that brother too as well.
Maximilian, thank you very much for your donation. Tell Serenity she's going to appreciate this exposure that y'all are giving her one day. She appreciates it now.
Do you, Serenity? Yeah.
My daughter is 29. She talks about places I took her. That's awesome. And, you know, I always say it's the exposure quotient. From the time children are young, they need to be exposed. And that gives them a better appreciation for life. So, definitely.
Okay, so the information for the Fumba and the Soul that is on Zanzibar is, you already know the www, but it's CPS, that's C as in cat, P as in Paul, S as in Sierra, dash Tanzania.com. Let me repeat that one more time. CPS dash, that's the short line in the middle between the letters. CPS dash Tanzania.com. Now for the soul, it's called The Soul, THESOUL .Africa. And the last is Fumba, FUMBA .town. It's in the video Mombasa Part 2, Talks with the Family. You'll see our face on it. And the links are there. You click on them and then the websites or whatever will open up. And then you have access to the information. So hopefully that helps you all out there. What else there? Other questions? Serenity, you got any questions?
Did you like Dar es Salaam? Will you visit again, or do the three of you see yourselves living there? Did you get to visit Nangui, Zanzibar? It is beautiful there.
There are many other areas in Zanzibar that we didn't get a chance to visit. That will be the next time around, because we were just in Stone Town, a little bit outside of Stone Town, and then we went down to the southern portion. We didn't get to the eastern portion of the island or the north. So that will be trip number 2.
Trip number 2, family. Most definitely. Like to give thanks to Jennifer Edie. Thanks for the property info. Of course, thank you for giving. Appreciate that. That's good. Take advantage of that, family. Take advantage of that. I'm going to tell you all this right here. You can't get anywhere based off of fear. You're going to have to sometimes get out of your way of comfort and be able to take advantage of those things that are there for you. I just got an email that Akon, you know, the singer Akon, I invested in his vision. Akon, they just had a medical center here in Kenya that has taken on his A-coin, okay? And so I invested in his company, and I got some of those, they call them TOAs for right now, but will be changed over into the coins. But, you know, I invested in that, and hopefully that turns out, and that's going to be a pretty good investment to have those like Bitcoins. And there's no guarantees in life. It's about, you know, just sometimes stepping out there on that limb. I like to say step out on faith, but I mean, if that's what you want to call it, you call it that. But it's going to take that sometimes, that once you've done your homework, get over your fear and just go into what it is that you're wanting to do, because life is going to see you through as long as you're diligent in what you do.
It's that time. Thank you very much for your donation. Thanks for the real estate info.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Someone asked about shipping information.
Yeah, we haven't done any shipping. We haven't done any shipping and all that right there. All I do know is that the containers and all do come through the port, I think, of Dar es Salaam. That's the major port here. And so anywhere you're in, whether you're in Rwanda, Uganda, Burundi, all of it's coming through there.
Yep.
And they built a new, they built a new place there in Kenya for the cart, the cart. They're gonna ship all of the things that's headed north on the rail station to this point, so that you ain't gotta go all the way down to Dar es Salaam and get your crate or your cart, whatever they call them big old metal things, whatever. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Yes, we don't know much about the shipping. Maximilian, I plan on spending 50 on y'all today. This makes 50. One bro about to hit these ATL street.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
All right. Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, okay. Let's see here.
There's a
2 more questions we have.
Will you be visiting Burkina Faso where JT is?
Yeah, oh yeah. We're gonna visit all the 54. And I might, if we go to Sierra Leone, I might hit him up then if we do it in February. Yeah, those, check out his video. He just had an American family there. They into a house there. They was up there celebrating and partying, their whole family, and you know, he was filming them, and yeah, we're definitely gonna check them out to see what's going on over there.
And Maudi Mohammed says, please visit Arusha. So while you're still here in Tanzania, visit Arusha.
All right, email me, let me know, and let me know some places, what's going on and stuff like that. I'll definitely can check it out. Because there's a few handfuls of African Americans that are up there too, and I would like to go see what they got going on, because I did a video of a meeting they were all having, joining together and stuff like that there in Arusha. Let's see here. What's the best time of the year to visit natural events, storms, etc.? I'm not sure, Anne Marie.
Have you heard anything about the train process in Tanzania and Rwanda?
Nah, I have not. I haven't. Thank you, Amy G, for giving. She says, thank you, family. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's see here.
Is the cost of living high?
We get that question all the time. The cost of living is where you want the cost of living to be. You can find the poorest man out here who's making it, scratching, surviving, live in his house or home or her house or home, all the way up to as much as you want to spend. So when we talk about cost of living, just keep in perspective like where the country you live in. You can find the person who has the small amount of means of money, and can find to the largest. Which side of the tracks you want to live on? It's out there. You can find wherever you want to live here in Africa. Totally up to you.
Are you going to meet Mark Meets Africa and Tiffany Banner?
I reached out to Tiffany Banner a few weeks ago. No response back. But I understand she was going through some things. But Mark, I might connect with Mark. I reached out to him on one of his videos, and he responded back, and so he's trying to do his own thing too. But if time permits or whatever, and he wants to meet, yes, I have no problem with that. because I would love to just share his message on this platform to all the young adults that can see that there are others out here doing that. And that's why I had reached out to Tiffany, because I wanted to have both of them on at the same time so people can see that, you know, these young ones out here are doing it too, leaving and starting a life.
Is there similarity between Dar es Salaam and Mombasa culturally and infrastructurally?
In some things, yes, and in other things, no. Okay, what examples? I would say well, right here in Mombasa where we are, okay, it's not as touristy here where we are. But now I hear you go down to the beaches, the Diani, what's it called?
Diani Beach.
Diani Beach and all that. Those are supposed to be the great beaches everybody talks about, is where the tourists and all them are. So it all depends on the area. What other differences did I notice? Did we notice?
They're both coastal cities. The weather is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the question was infrastructurally and culturally.
Mm-hmm.
Culturally, I think in Dar es Salaam, I would say culturally they're very similar, because you've got still a large percentage of Indians in Mombasa as well.
Mm-hmm.
So culturally, I see a lot of similarities.
Yeah. Tino, thanks for giving. Can a foreigner own a land in Tanzania? Yes, from what I'm told, and that's what I was sharing about the land that's at Fumba and also the Soul. They're in Zanzibar, and Zanzibar is part of Tanzania. So, yes, and I will do further research on that to make sure that that is correct, and if you can own land other places. But from what I hear is that you really can't own land unless you are a citizen here. So getting citizenship is a different story.
Did you try to get in touch with the Black Travelista?
I did not reach out. Hold up. Which one was it? The came from Russia. Travelista?
That might have been the Travelista.
Yeah, I think I may have. I mean, I might have reached out, you know, but I cannot remember. We were supposed to meet. That's right, we were. We were supposed to meet up at a given time, not a given time, but just said, yeah, you know, hey, you know, it'd be cool, yeah, meet up or whatever, you know, and do a video. Yes, we'll go to Gambia. I've been already, but we'll go so my wife can see, you know, since, you know, the YouTubers have put it on the map and she can see for herself what the talk is and what the hype might be, or, you know, she can get a feel of it. Tavani, thank you for giving. And she says thank you.
Dan the Revolutionary wants to know if we booked our tickets for the train ride to Nairobi.
Did that early this evening, yes. And surprisingly, they only have one train ride going per day up there. That just blew my mind. That's what the woman told me. But yeah, we booked it. Supposed to leave out at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's supposed to be about a 6 hour train ride. People don't want us to go. They keep asking questions. Have I ever flown on Turkish Airlines? I lived in Turkey for 1 year, and I cannot remember what airline I flew on. Leaving, I cannot remember. And leaving the States to come over to Africa, there was no Turkish Airlines. Let's see here. Any other questions? Serenity, you see anything?
No.
No, I did not hook up with Travel Sister. I did not hook up with her. Somebody re-asked that. They missed it or whatever. Does the indigenous population make up the majority of the country? Field Marshal Musa says. Or do the non-African constitute the majority of the population? No, it's the indigenous Kenyan people are the majority who are here in the country that I know of. Now, I'm not sure who you're referring to as the indigenous, but yeah.
Did you connect with African Exodus?
No, I reached out to her, never got a response back from her. Bert Isaac, what's up with the hat? Serenity was wearing hers. I said, I'm gonna put mine on. She's into this style thing now. You know, she just like to, you know, she's in fashion now. So, you know.
I do what I want.
Yeah. All right, family. Well.
And we're not sure about the medical component in the countries where we visited, but that would definitely be something to look into.
Yeah.
Someone said we're definitely twins.
Are you meeting Miss Trudy?
Nah, I haven't even. I know they on the go. Her and Wadamaya's on the go. I'm not even sure. I'm supposed to meet up with African Tigers when I get back to Nairobi, and also the African Traveler. I will be meeting up with them. So everybody's busy doing their thing, you know, and especially those who are, you know, like Exodus. You know, she's doing a project. I love what she's doing. I was wanting to go ahead and try to get you all to see the project she is doing. But people are busy, you know, and she's a single mother, and, you know, she's got a lot of work on her hands and a lot of folks that she is responsible for in her group. So, yeah, so I know everybody's got their own life, and I know I'm busy. My goodness. I did not know what this would turn out to be as doing the YouTubing, and it's something that definitely can wear one out if you're not ready for it. But it's good, you know. I mean, I can handle it. I mean, because I've done things twice as hard as this, but it requires some discipline. It requires some commitment. It requires, you know, energy. It requires that. And so now I think my wife appreciates even more what I'm doing, because when I get on these lives, she's like, okay, now, how long we gonna be on? So it's that time right now to get off, y'all, because it's now 11:52. We thank each and every one of you all for giving your time, giving your finances, giving your likes, giving and sharing to others the message. And we wish each and every one of you all a profitable evening, and that hopefully you all will join in tomorrow as we continue on our next topic. That will be, let's see here, right here, because I was feeling some subjects, and I was like, yeah, we have to talk about that. Hold on one second. Yeah, well, tomorrow I think is about the, what is it? I can't remember now. Just look on the thing. We'll see, family. But we thank y'all, all for what you do, all for your time and all. I say let's go and grow. Let's, you know, let's spread the message about the motherland. And, you know, for those who haven't been to visit, it's waiting on you. Those who feel like they're angst and all right there, Africa's not going anywhere. So I know there's a lot of talk and hype about moving to Africa. Do not feel pressured in doing or moving or anything. Do your homework. Come pay a visit. Yes. Enjoy. Go back. Share. Think about what you want to do, and then make a decision if you choose to or if you choose not to. The world is yours, and you're the one who will make the decision and have to live by your decision. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.